Hey guys, this is Stefan. How are you? I'm going to be showing you the animation gazer. I've been reworking the user interface, so if you've been part of the Beta 1 program, the strongest feedback I got during Beta 1 is that the interface was a little unclear, so I've been working a lot with a couple smart people to help me invent a new user interface, in which I'm going to show you now. I'm much happier with this interface than the other one. So if you're part of Beta 1, you can probably jump to about the middle of this video. If not, I'm going to give some of the background on what an animation gazer is by just talking about gazing and eye position in general, and then I'll go through the features of the new Beta 3 interface. And I'm looking for some feedback on this thing. I would love to get this thing into production, but not until I've got some positive feedback from my beta crew that this is good. So sitting in my little workshop here, I've got my alt sitting in here that I use for all of my testing. And so let me select Angora here, and we'll throw her into a quick pose here. There she is, and I'm going to res a light on her so we get a little more light here. And I'll scoot this light over a little offset to the side here. And then I'm going to back out and hit the padlock just by touching it, so it'll lock it into position. And then I'll just go ahead and hide this guy. So what we've done typically for setting eye position is working with the model and asking them to look at something. So if I go to the developer avatar, excuse me, show look at menu, I can back out, and right now she's just kind of looking anywhere in the room. Let me pick something. I'll pick like my globe or something like that. And so when I zoom around the room here, you'll see now that she's now Angora. You can see the little mark on the globe there. So she's actually looking at that globe. And if I go in, you can see her eyes are up a little bit. And then you have this problem saying, okay, can I ask you to look down a little bit? So I'm going to have her click a little bit lower, or click a little bit lower, or click to the left. It's a very painful alt-click process to do this dialogue with the model to try to figure out where to look. And so what we've had prior is an animation gazer. So what I can do is I can res a gazer, and it's one of the LUMIPro features. And let this thing res here for a second. And what it says here is, Angoran, please alt-click me. And when she alt-clicks on it, click, you can see the show look at has moved to that. And now it should be high and to the side, so her eyes are up in there. And so what I can do now is I can hit the left, right, over, and down maybe a little bit. I can zoom in on her face here, and she's looking a little high here, so I can go down, 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 see how her eyes are moving. I can go up, I can go left, I can go right. And now she's looking at this, and so now we can have the photographer kind of set the pose and then adjust the eye position accordingly. This is great. It gives a lot of control. The only problem with it is, by the way, you can also touch it on the gazer itself. You don't have to just touch it on the HUD. Is it requires res. And so if I'm in a situation, let me just go ahead and de-res this thing. If I'm in a situation where I'm in a sim that doesn't allow res, this doesn't work well. And also, if you're trying to self-gaze, this is really, really hard to try to do this on. It's much easier on another model to try to use the gazer. So what I have is I have a new animation-based gazer. So rather than the look-ats with a prim, this thing actually then now has a set of eye animations. Let me demonstrate this to you. So I'm going to have her look straight ahead. So notice when this thing is set to an eye, I can actually just click on here, and now it's actually played an animation, and the animation sets the eye position. And so let me show you something a little bit quickly here in an Excel. I gave an example of this thing. If I think of this as a tic-tac-toe board, I can actually look left between -30 and 30 and up between 20 and -20 degrees. So you look at that, and we end up with 121 animations that this thing can go do, and this tic-tac-toe board has now been mapped on this thing, so I can either look straight center, I can have her look down, I can have her look straight up, I can have her look left, I can have her look right, and that's been normal. But also, I can also now pick some granulations of this thing, a little left, a little left, a little left, and then a little right, and a little right, and a little right. I can mix the lefts and the rights, etc. You can end up with some obviously that don't look great, But what I can do is kind of compose the shot, experiment with various angles of the light position. And let me unhide the projector for a second and show you what I can do now with this thing here. Where did that projector go? Hide. Here it is. Let me unlock this projector here. I remove the padlock on the projector. Now what I can do is I can use the outside arrows to move the projector. And now let me zoom in on her. I can use the outside arrows to move the projector, and then I can use the inside joystick to move the eyes. So this allows me control of both the projectors with the outside arrows, and the inside control moves the eyes, and life is really good. So let's try another pose just for fun here. Oops, let's go to, say, that one here. And obviously the eyes are probably looking a little high, and I can just adjust the eyes down a little bit, etc. Now, the eyes do require you to accept animations, and so unfortunately there's really no way around this. So you have to accept two animations, one for the body pose and one for the eye pose. But this works extremely well on self animation. Let me give an example of that. I'm going to pick myself here, and if I can move my camera onto me here. Come on, turn around. I can have myself look left. Maybe I should pick a good pose for me here in this. Let me just go to pose 1 here, the adjust lights pose. And I can now pick an eye animation for myself. I can look left, I can look right, I can look up, I can look down. I can pick any mix of 5 ticks left, 5 ticks right. There's 11 ticks up, down, left, right. And then I can go back to Angora over here. And, oops. I can drive the camera today. I can then select Angora again and then move our eye position. Now, one of the things that I decided to do on this thing is when you change poses like this, I've unlocked the eyes. So every time we change poses, I unlock the eyes, and it's just a real quick click to go back on this thing. Now, for those people that liked to move the projector with a little more fine control on it, here's my projector sitting on Angora over here. Rather than just having solid left and right, I have kind of an advanced button. And if you notice when I click over in here, let me do this a couple times here so you can see it. Notice it flips out of the eye mode. And when you're flipping out of the eye mode, now I can actually have fine control of the projectors, which is what we've had before. And then when I click back over in here, I'm controlling the eyes. So I'd really like your guys' feedback on this interface. I'm actually pretty happy with it. And let's see if I can get Angora to look at me. Here we go. Appreciate your feedback, guys. Thanks a lot.